President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests, I've got a happy dollar for last Sunday. We kind of had a pre-Thanksgiving dinner with our oldest grandson and his girlfriend and our daughter. So we've already had turkey dinner, but you know, we look forward to another one.
Gobble, gobble.
Hey, you brother.
Flying Great Perth. President acting Leroy, fellow Lions guest. Happy Buck. Last Friday had the opportunity to test hearing and vision up at Columbia Heights Elementary. The kids up there are fun. Hi, Judy. We'll get it. Flying Ron Stoppler.
Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests, Bill Pontius is doing better. He would love some people to come and visit him at Frontier Rehab.
That's the best news we've heard today. Flying Mike.
Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests, just happy to be here. And for anybody that may not know, the anniversary is on YouTube.
My brother made me vote for you.
I was told Saturday it was there, and I went and hunted it. All you gotta do is go down
You're married to Betty.
Pioneer Lions 95th anniversary,
Did
and
Peggy
it comes
lean
right
on you
up,
a little?
whole program.
Peggy's part.
Thank you, Mike.
Did she lean on you a little bit too? Or?
Oh, you ready?
She should have.
Okay, well, you got a lot of dollars out there. You must be pretty happy.
I need to be on your agenda.
First, I got a really sad dollar. The Jill Waters isn't
I
here.
think I got you on there.
There's only one thing worse for USC
Look it up
to
right there.
lose to the Cougars, and it's
Oh, good.
UCLA, I don't know if you knew that or not.
and the second dollar is 10 and 1? 10 and 1? Where's our mustaches?
Yeah. Wearing mine.
Lion Mark Selch.
Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests, first an informational dollar. It's apparently going to be a very cold winter this year. Squirrels are out collecting extra nuts. Fortunately, they didn't know my gate code, but I'd like the rest of you to be careful. Second dollar, I was informed late last week that I was going to swim to assist and help. So I got up there and realized my assistance and help was watching a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old and a dog running around for 3 days. So I'm a little tired, happy to be back to work to rest. Third dollar is a sad dollar. I may miss next week. Yay! Have some training from 11 to 12 and I'm not sure if I can get over here in time. And finally, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Always something to be grateful for.
Lion Larry.
Acting King Lion, fellow Lion guest, I've got 2 happy dollars. One, because I just got so much to be grateful for. And second is that my daughter gets to hear for Thanksgiving with it.
Very good. Mr. Reineke.
Who takes the money? You do. Presiding Officer Leroy, fellow Lions and guests. Just a happy Thanksgiving dollar to everyone. First thing you do when you get the daily news, which will be tomorrow morning, especially if you're over 50, look in the part that says obits, and then look up. If you don't see the roots of daisies, it'll be a good day.
Amen to that, brother. David Smith.
Happy $2. I'm going to change this around a bit, but you'll figure it out. But anyway, fellow Lions, actually President Lion, fellow Lions, and girl Lions. And I like that one, but there are, it's fine Lion and other guys. Well, the girls that are here are still Lion members, so anyway. I just want to thank everybody for just being who they are and all getting along. Thank you I think the establishment for giving us lunch each week, and for the many people that helped me. And I'm going to sing you a song, and this might catch you off guard too, who knows? I've been working on the railroad all the live long day. I've been working left and right, some time away. Dying to hear the whistle blowing so early in the morning. Toot toot. Toot toot, you know, and I know it, I must have forgotten the rest of it. Diana. Yeah, I got it. Diana, can't you see the girls going? Bye-bye.
Thanks, David.
Thank you, David. I like the words of that, but I didn't like the lyrics.
I'd only given a 72, we can't dance.
Who's happy? Mike, you look happy. I don't see any money though. Button's broke. We won't find you for that. Lion Lloyd. I'm taking all sorts of abuse back here. Lion Leroy, fellow Lions and guests. How many Cougars we got in the crowd? Great, great win. That was a clinic, wasn't it? And this is a challenge dollar. I'm going to challenge my buddy Swanson to a bet. $5 on this weekend's ball game for the Cougars. What do you think, Swanson?
Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests. Where's the money going to go? How about we donate it to something here? Lions side, okay. All right, you're on. Here, I might as well speak while I'm here. Yeah, you're welcome. The reason I got the microphone is so we can talk about it. I'm happy today because my favorite cook's sitting right next to me here. And there's a few other people here. Dick, we tried to kick him away from the table, but he kept coming back. So we felt sorry for him. So anyway, it's all in all a pretty good day. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Thank you, Lion Greg. We're missing a few name tags today on Sid. We'll get back to Steve real quick. Pat doesn't have one, so we'll have a happy 75 cents and a quarter fine. How's that work out?
Hello, Lance and guests, whatever. I have another brag moment about grandkids. I forgot to tell you a few weeks ago. If you remember, my twin grandsons both work at Amazon in Seattle when they got out of college. And Chad, one of the twins, loves Amazon, loves to travel, and he left Munich to work with Amazon for years. So it's kind of $5, but it's very happy for him. He loves to travel, single, and I asked him in July, his birthday's in August, I asked him in July, how many countries have you been to? And he said 23, and he wasn't even 23 years old yet until August. So anyway, I'm very proud of him. I know.
Thank you, Pat.
Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests, I got a happy dollar. This week, medical stocks are going to go up a little bit. My wife's getting a new hip tomorrow. And I, last week, failed the stress test miserably, so on Friday, Good Friday, understand that there's going to be some bargain angiograms and stents coming my way.
And that was your happy dollar. Oh, okay. Okay. Pat had a good excuse, so can't argue with that. Fine, Steve.
President, or Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests, I got a couple of bucks there. Just First off, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. It's a real happy Thanksgiving in our house because we're going somewhere else this year for the first time. And had a great time up with the kids at Columbia Heights.
Very good. Fine, Dina.
Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests. I have a couple of happy dollars. One is happy Thanksgiving to everyone. And the other is I have had so much support, I just can't relay this gratitude back because I still have people asking me if I can survive the cut. And I don't know if this is a happy dollar or, I won't call it a mixed dollar. As you know, we reduced our workforce and I get to hang around and fire everybody and then fire myself by the end of the year.
Thank you, Dina. Lion Dwayne.
President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests, I have a dollar bill here. But I have to go over to Hawaii for a couple. And the sad dollar is I won't be here with you.
Vegas to Hawaii, man. I need to start hanging around with Dwayne a little bit more. He's having way more fun than I am. Lion Bob.
Acting President Leroy, members and guests, that was a happy sad dollar. First thing, I'm sad because the Mariners have now traded away their best catcher and best pitcher. I'm happy because now you'll be able to get tickets the day before a game, any place you want to sit.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bob. Acting President Leroy, fellow guests of the female and male genders. I've got a couple of happy dollars. I saw on the news last night, they said this year the cost for Thanksgiving dinner for 8 is $48. Is that cheap? Isn't that cheap?
Yeah, $40.
They said that was bad news. I'm thinking, $48 for 8 people? My wife and I eat at Applebee's popcorn that every time.
Yeah.
And another happy dollar, because it's just a nice day out, and who knows how many more we get in 2018.
Yeah.
That's right. But it's sunny today. Lion Phil.
President in waiting, Leroy, fellow Lions and guests, I have 3 happy dollars. The first one is that sitting up here in the front row, you get to see some pretty unusual things, and I saw Greg Firth bust a move that Mike would be proud of. And I'm pretty sure he's going to co-chair the sock hop next year. Second happy dollar is Carlos, can you hear me? Come on up, buddy. Carlos, who is a student at Evergreen, brought me this sweatshirt, which says, for those of you who attended WSU, it says, Evergreen State College undefeated since 1967. That is likely to continue through the rest of this decade. Carlos would not accept any money for it. So here's $40, and I'd like you to tell us what sort of, you can give it to the Eagles, you can give it to one of the Lions charities, but, or you can give
First of all, before I disperse the money, however I feel like, I'd like to thank all of you guys for being part of my journey to Evergreen. It's been an honor volunteering here, helping you guys out, and from the bottom of my heart, I really thank every single one of you.
And Gary Hill, what's the name of that medication that you were hyping? Prevagen?
Viagra?
Gary Hill was telling about a medication that works really well for your memory, but he couldn't remember what it was, and now I can't remember what my third happy dollar was. Nor can I remember Prevagen. So
Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests, I got 5 happy bucks. Oh, you're behind me. Awesome. Made a little trip down to Elane on Thursday night, and my goodness, if I didn't have to have somebody help me count out all the money I won. That was a really fun night. Let's see, the second happy buck, great fundraiser at the Rainier Eagles last Saturday night with the King brothers. We brought in about $2 grand. Want to thank all the people who did show up for that one. Third happy buck, I'd like to chastise all the people who didn't show up for the Christmas decorations downtown. I was the only person there that was not on the Longview Downtowners group, but I was wearing my Lion stuff and we helped get all that stuff out so the guys could get decorations up on the downtown area. Make sure after you've driven by the lake to go downtown and see that.
I've been there, Pat, but my camera was broken.
Oh, your camera was broken. Yeah. Fourth happy buck. Is Charlie still here? What's happening on Saturday, Charlie?
Breakfast at the Expo Center, 8:30 to 11, and benefiting snacks and victims of child abuse in our community.
There you go. All kinds of great silent auction baskets and all kinds of cool stuff. And we're all going to kind of glad hand and eat way too much sausage and bacon. And I invite you.
Lions badge on today?
Does he have a Lions badge on? Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he's a lion.
He's a lion. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's see, we got that one. And then number 5, the 5th happy bucks. I want to wish you all a very, very happy Thanksgiving. Thursday morning, I will begin the odyssey of cooking 9 turkeys, 4 to consume and 5 to travel in the big giant pot of boiling oil. And it's always fun just to see if I come home with all my skin.
Just see if the house is still standing.
That's it.
Acting President Leroy.
Oh, ring us all in. Yeah. Woo. Invocation this morning will be, or this afternoon, is led by John Claypool.
Father, we stand before you and giving the blessings that you give us. Today we think of our first responders. We thank you for their dedication, their valor, and watch over them. We thank you for the ability to help others in our community through Lionism. We ask you to make good decisions in that regard. Bless this food which we have eaten, and we give you the praise. Amen. Amen.
Pledged by Secretary Phil Olson.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In Marilyn Patterson will lead us in song. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of thy pilgrims' pride, from every mountainside let freedom bring. Thank you. We'll start off with Bob Jensen. Bob Jensen will introduce the guest.
Acting President Leroy, fellow members and guests, Lion Maureen Parsons has a guest she'd like to introduce.
Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests, I'd like to introduce a dear friend, Gary Trenner.
That'll be it. Steve, if you want to bring the mic up here. Next up is Marilyn Patterson.
Stand up, Marilyn. You have to take that.
What do you want me to do? Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests, I know that Ken always asks for a zone chair report. I received Zone G2, Helen Sutphen's Thanksgiving greeting as her newsletter, and it just touched me so much that I wanted to share it with you because it's really all the things that the zone chair works toward and for, and the ultimate is all of the people, you are the ones that support us. So she says, at this very busy time, I want to express how thankful I am for family, each and every one of them, and for my Lions family. presidents who work with their club board of directors is to improve our community, who promote LCIF, CARE, leader dogs, secretaries who each month file their monthly reports, treasurers who diligently care for club finances, membership chairs who continually look for new ways to engage members, committee chairs who provide for the successful implementation of projects, who understand the connection between service and membership, club members, that means all of us, who give time and talent so that others may succeed, who participate in walk and knock, provide food baskets, toys, clothes, gifts for those in need, ensure that children and the less fortunate have a Merry Christmas, ring bells for Salvation Army, crochet hats. This is something that happens in Zone 2. One Lion started it, so she was thanking them for that. And those crocheted hats are called magic yarn wigs for childhood cancer. For Lions who provide the time and the talents, I think I mentioned that, who work with Scouts, which we do as well, who serve their community through fundraising events and service activities. Most importantly, I'm thankful for all the support that Lions in G2 give to me, thanking from Helen. And I feel the same way, most importantly, thanking the Lions in G1 as well. You are all amazing. Thank you. May you and yours have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Lion Helen Sutphin, Zone Chair. And I got permission to use this, so it's also from me. And I have Cindy Fickett is sick today, so I'll be speaking for her as well as myself. One visitation, and the sign-up sheets over here on the table for the month of November is next Monday, November 26th in Kalama, at the Kalama Lions at a Kalama Community Building. And this is a visitation that is official district governor visitation to Kalama. And of course, I have a job as a zone chair too, but we thought we'd tie it in with the club. And then just coming up in December, I wanted to cue you into this. December 17th will be our first reading book giveaway at Columbia Heights Elementary. And I'm planning on running a morning session and an afternoon sign-up session. So we'll have those next week. And that's it.
Okay. Thank you, Marilyn.
The meeting next Monday is, she's got 6:30. They start at 7, but they start arriving at 6:30, which we will be there as well. So, you know, that works, 6:30.
Okay. Thank you, Marilyn. Next up, Steve, will be Gail. Gail, do you have anything for Sunshine Committee? No, I don't. Okay. Next, I guess, going to pick you to the other direction, Steve. Over here to Greg first. No, I'm going in order of what my sheet says. So.
President, acting Leroy, all-lines guest.
Yeah.
A week from Saturday, December 1st, is Walk and Knock Food Drive. You've got the sign-up sheet here, and it does not look very good. We need a lot more people to sign up. If you're unable to walk or whatever, and you have a vehicle, we can get people to go out with you. If somebody has a vehicle and wants to walk, I have a driver that will drive your vehicle. Anyway, bring your friends, neighbors, whatever you can, because we need more people signed up. Also, if you've got a business or a place to hang a sign, I've got some window stickers, window signs here. You can take as many as you want. Mark?
Mostly want to echo what Greg is saying, acting King Lion, Leroy, fellow Lions and Best. We really do need a lot more people signed up. We probably had 2.5 times that many people signed up last year, and we were shorthanded. I know Steve Johnson and I ended up doing 3 routes, so it's not fun to be out there till 4 o'clock collecting food. We really need people to walk. The original concept for Walk and Knock came from this club. It was our idea 34 or 5 years ago, whatever it was, It originally came from this idea. Now in Clark County, who took the idea and really ran with it and made it out, it is the single largest community food bank or food drive anywhere in the nation. So this is really an important food drive. It's a major food drive. It's not quite what we used to be. It's kind of splintered around our area. And some clubs don't do the walking and knocking like we do, which is really important if you get out there. Make sure that you stop at the doors along your route and actually knock. I can also tell you from experience, it is one of the most rewarding service projects you'll ever do in your life. To go to a house, and sometimes you look like you should be bringing them food because they're in a tough situation, and they scrape together a few cans because they've been helped. It is very touching. I would urge you to listen to Greg and get signed up. So thank you.
Thank you. Next up is Carrie Ann. She's right here.
Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests, this Sunday is the Jumping Toy Run. It's a great event to take part in if you don't have a lot of time. I realize it's on a bad weekend, just right after Thanksgiving, but hour max probably is all that it takes. And we're just blocking streets for the motorcycle run to go through town. The important part about this is it takes a lot of people. So we really would like to have about 40 people involved in that. And we are currently at about 22. So we need to double that in size to really have sufficient people blocking the streets. But once you're done blocking and they've gone by, you get to go. So it's really just a pretty quick commitment. Would love to have more sign-ups. We'll pass that around. And we've got flyers if you would like a flyer. And it's a toy donation. So if you're interested in just dropping off a toy for that event, we'll take that too. They ask for toys about $10. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Carrie Ann.
Always enjoy the Heavy Metal Thunder Show, too. It's a lot of fun to do it. It is. It's a great, not only is it a very worthwhile cause, but it's a lot of fun to stand there and watch the metal go by. There's cool cars, cool bikes, so come on out.
Next will be Rex Boswell. You're on the list, Rex.
Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests, I just want to thank everybody for all the help the last couple of weeks with the Christmas lights. Everything's up and running, and they will be turned on Thanksgiving night. Thank you.
Thanks, Rex. Kathy Carmody.
Okay, today I get to be two people since Mrs. Pickett is ill, so Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests. This is for our party, which is going to be Friday, December 7th. It will be held here. The social hour will start at 5 and dinner is at 6. Cindy is wanting different people with different game ideas. She's also trying to do up a icky, ugliest sweater contest. Okay, now me. President Leroy, on everybody's table there should be this piece of paper that Mr. Pat did up for me. And this is the listing of how many boys and girls in community center, which we will be donating our gifts, and we'll be sharing our feast with them. So if you can bring a gift, that will be great for them. And I took it upon myself also. I went and got us a nice great big, I figured the little boogers by now should be through all their candy from Halloween, so let's do it again. And I thought we'd fill this sock up with candy for them, and hopefully they've got some place to hang it. So if you have any questions, just give me a holler and I'll help you as best I can. While I was there the other day talking to them, some people came in with bedding, and so they accepted it. And I said, oh, you take bedding? And he said, we take anything we can get. And he said, bedding is a biggie. So he said, it's blankets, sheets, anything on that order, they will take happily. Thanks.
Thanks, Kathy. Next will be Paul Spears.
Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests, I wanted to talk a little bit about bell ringing. Last year, after the season was over, I asked him to save us a Saturday in December, so when I called them 2 weeks ago, they said all the Saturdays were full. So I scheduled this for another store, not as desirable, but it's at the Walmart on 38th and Ocean Beach. Saturday, the 15th of November, I'll start putting that sign-up sheet out next week. And it'll be from 9 till 7. And it would be good if we had 3 people sign up for each door so that you kind of rotate. It's not as covered and convenient there. Yeah. Anyway, so keep that in mind. November the 15th. December the 15th. November the 15th, we've already done it. So anyway. Anyway, keep it in mind. I'll start putting the sign-up sheets out next week. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. And next up will be Ron Stoppler.
It is a Saturday, December 15th of Walmart 38.
Acting President Leroy, fellow Lions and guests, I want to thank everyone who helped out at Columbia Heights last Friday. It was a great event. They did eliminate the site testing and we used the camera plus hearing, so it went almost twice as fast. We got done except for one crew by the end of the morning, and then the second crew came in and we finished off one class and we're done. So all the people that helped, we tested 330 kids. So, great day.
That'd be it. Okay, I have a thank you card or letter from, I don't know, the Lions Eyeglass Recycling Center. Yeah. Anyway, they're thanking us for our generous donation, and they go on to say that with all the Lions clubs in multiple 19, the participation of those clubs at the center wouldn't be able to operate, so they were very thankful of that. And got a thank you card from MD19 Council Chairman John Kirby, and I'll just read real quickly. Curie, yeah, there's no B on that. Okay, anyway, dear President Ken, my sincere appreciation to you and your whole club for the wonderful 95th anniversary event last weekend. The hospitality was great, and both Sharon and I enjoyed it all. Best regards, John. That was really nice. Now we're going to go to, yes, Vice President Pat Palmer, guest speaker. This past President, Pat Palmer.
Thanks,
Look at this. Hey,
thanks, Leroy.
Yeah, it's lunchtime.
So, Leroy would like to invite you all to his office next Tuesday at 10:30 for a couple of shots of tequila before you come to the.
We have big straws.
Big jars and big straws.
Are you half past?
Yeah, I'm a half past. More than half. More than half. Yeah. Thanks, Marilyn. Let's just keep talking about it. Hey, one of the things that Cowlitz County has had going for it for decades, and I'm talking 60 years, is really truly fine leadership at the top law enforcement levels. One of the ways that we've weathered our storms is with steady hands and steady hearts. The Nelson family, the Sheriff Mahoney, and now, of course, our wonderful man and upcoming Sheriff, Brad Thurman. Truly, for decades, we have had the safety, even whether we knew it or not, supplied by the sheriff's deputies. Amazing things that they are able and tasked to do, and do so with glad hearts and open arms. Truly, the day that you have a sheriff's deputy vehicle pull up to your house, it's a bad day, just to start with usually. It's just a bad day, because they're there because you're already sad, or you're going to be sad in a few minutes. But they do it with great aplomb and courtesy and strength. and for that I'm very thankful. And truly, as I am about to introduce my friend Brad, I asked him for some information last week, and thankfully he forwarded that to me, and I printed it out and I left it on my desk. And it's the it's the list of all of you who he's arrested over the last 3 decades in law enforcement. So feel yourself happy and know that you have something else to be thankful for on Thursday. But I would like to present to you at this time my friend and our new sheriff, Brad Thurman.
I got to make sure I do this right. Acting President Leroy, did I get that right? I met him on the sidewalk out front, and he brought me in. He drugged me in. Anyway, and Lions and guests, thanks for having me. Appreciate Pat extending the invitation. And first thing I wanted to say is I got a big thank to Pat and his brother Hal Palmer for helping with my campaign. They were a big help. So in the future, if there's any complaints, you can start with the two of them. So they're highly responsible for me being here. So, but I got to apologize if anybody heard any of my campaign speeches. I really don't have any prepared remarks today, so I'm going to just probably do a fallback to what I did during the campaign. So if you had to suffer through one of those again, here we go again. But I just want to introduce myself. I've lived in the community 40 years. And by way of introduction, I know the Thurman name. A lot of people ask me if I was related to Stan or Rod Thurman, and no, I'm not. So unfortunately, no, my dad was a minister and pastored a church here in town for about 19 years, and that's how we wound up here. But I did meet Rod Thurman on several occasions and did some research. And our families came out of Kentucky in about 1800, but I couldn't match up anything closer to that. So there's no relationship there, but I have lived here 40 years and been with the Sheriff's Office 31 years, and I've served as a patrol deputy, served in the Drug Task Force. I've been a sergeant for about 19 years, 13 as a patrol, and 5.5 years as a detective sergeant doing major felony crimes. And here since the election, just last week, the sheriff, we had an opening as the chief criminal deputy, and he's put me in that position to the end of the year. So I'll be fulfilling that, and he's been very gracious in working with me on a transition, and starting to find out there's a lot of meetings you got to go to. So I didn't really count on that, but I guess it doesn't end. I guess public speaking doesn't end either. So I didn't know what I was getting myself into, but I'm looking forward to the challenge. We're going to have some new people in some leadership positions. We're going to be able to promote a new sergeant here in May, Charlie Rosenzweig, who's with the office 41 years. He'll be retiring May 1, so we'll be replacing him with a new sergeant. So it's an exciting time, and we're working with the county commissioners. All the government's always fighting over the same pie for money, but we're going to try to get a bigger piece of the pie for law enforcement and provide more services to the public as we can. And they've been, I think, my talks with them so far, they have been favorable. So if you have the ear of a commissioner, don't hesitate to, and if you live in the county especially, bend in their ear and tell them you want to see more deputies out there. So. And I'll also put out another plug. Right now, we have 2 openings, and we're going to have 2 more, one January 1st and one May 1st. So if you have any family or relatives who work in law enforcement anywhere, and you think they might want to work here, come back home, particularly if it's your kids or son-in-laws, daughter-in-laws, and you have grandkids somewhere you'd like to have closer, reach out to them and encourage them to come and apply and work here for us, because we're going to, like I said, be hiring 4, and it's kind of a tough market out there to compete with police departments and other sheriff's offices. I know I just heard the other day, there's Lakewood, I think, is offering a $20,000 bonus to a trained, experienced law enforcement officer who signs up. And even in our own county, I know Woodland does a $10,000 bonus, and some of the other ones do $5,000. We don't have a bonus program, so we got to sell our quality of life and that sort of thing. But it's a big difference for us to get a trained officer. If we can get one of them, they can hit the street and start working probably in 2 to 3 months. If we get somebody, a brand new person off the street, we have to invest anywhere from 8 to 10 months in them. And hopefully at the end of that time, we have a deputy we can put out on the road. It's a big, not only in time, but in money. It's probably a $50,000 savings if we can get an experienced officer. So that's what I'm going to try to do, because even like I said, from our budgeted positions, we're going to be down 4 here. So that's a big struggle for us to try to fill those positions and try to be fully staffed even at the point we're budgeted at, but even like more than what we're budgeted at. But we need to start by filling the positions we have and get those folks trained up. And just I don't want to throw a bunch of statistics at you, but we do serve about half the county population as our primary law enforcement response. There's, I think, about 108,000 people in the county now, and we serve roughly half of them in the county, and with the primary law enforcement response for them. We also, the Sheriff's Office also runs some unique programs that the police departments do not. One, we have the Department of Emergency Management, which is actually funded by the cities and the county together, and they serve the entire county. One of their primary, most visible things they do is the search and rescue. They also have some other things they do. They have like a ham radio club as part of them, the dive team. And when there's an emergency, wherever it is, they have volunteers available to come out and help out. They even, work in the cities. If there's somebody, a lost child or maybe an older person with dementia who's wandered off, they'll come out and they'll see them out in the cities doing what they call an urban search as well. And they also do a lot of work with the industries. They have plans on the shelf. We have a lot of industry and dangerous things out there, so they have plans in place to respond if something bad were to happen to local industry. And with the I-5, the railroads, and Columbia River right here in our county, any given day there's all kinds of things going up and down the road, the rails, and the river that could cause harm. So that agency is there to plan and prepare for those. And they run drills for the first responders like law enforcement, fire, and the emergency medical services, so that if something like that were to happen, they're prepared. And the Department of Emergency Management is under the Sheriff's Office. Some of the other things we do that are unique to the Sheriff's Office is we register the sex offenders, and I think we're upwards of about 700 now. And last I heard, we're either first or second in the state per capita for having registered sex offenders living in our county. And part of that is just kind of economics. A lot of them can't afford to live in Clark County, so we get pressure from other places that they wind up here in our county. It's more affordable for them to live up here. So we also have a Marine Patrol Division. We have 3 boats, and we have multiple trained operators. So whenever there's some kind of emergency on the water, we have deputies that go out and do that. They also work with the dive team if the divers needed for somebody in the water or recover vehicles and that sort of thing. And one of the other unique things is a civil division of the Sheriff's Office, and hopefully you don't have to come across them. This is the division that one of their big things is doing evictions. And we have a deputy who does that. They evict people. They also do sheriff's sale of real property. And we also do a lot of what's called civil process service. That's the subpoenas, protection orders, lawsuits, and all that sort of stuff. That's kind of like Pat was talking about. If a deputy shows up at your door, it's probably not good news. So that's one of the things we do. So there is a variety of things that the Sheriff's Office has. And I almost forgot one other one is providing court security too at 3 buildings, at the Hall of Justice, the Juvenile Center, and now at the jail. They opened up a courtroom over at the jail last fall when they added a 5th Superior Court judge. So we have an equivalent of about 5 deputies just guarding buildings, and that came about 2008, I think, when the economy kind of tanked and they had to lay people off. They laid off 7 civilian security people and replaced them with fully trained full-time deputies. And other than they did fund 1 spot, but really we were really down 4 deputies from just protecting those buildings. That's what we're trying to work our way back from is doing that, either getting more deputies or having some other alternative at the court security doing that function for us. We don't have fully trained deputies doing that. So there's a lot of challenges ahead. There's still crime out there. We haven't solved that yet. And I was talking to another group here a month or so ago about identity theft. And when I started 31 years ago, you'd look ahead and see how computers have taken over our society and everything. Would have thought we would have moved towards maybe a crime-free society, at least in financial crimes, but unfortunately it's kind of quite the opposite there. The crooks are one step ahead of us, and they've figured out how to use the digital world to steal from people. So we're still playing catch-up on that. Cell phones and computers are involved in many crimes. We're getting trained up and trying to do that in-house. We've had to send computers out to the state lab, and that can take anywhere from 6 months to a year to get results back, and that's too long. So we recently got a program where we can actually analyze computers in-house and get the evidence off there sooner. And same thing with cell phones. We've been doing that a number of years. There's a lot of good evidence out there, but there's still crime. We're still playing catch up, and there's still bad guys out there. So that's our challenge every day, is to go after these guys, and that's kind of why I got into law enforcement, was the challenge of it and trying to, catch the bad guys and put them away, and also enjoy tracking them down when they leave the county or the state and they think they can get away with it. I enjoy doing that, trying to track them down where they're at and having the local authorities go out there and get them arrested, and we go pick them up and bring them back. So that's kind of satisfying to do that as well. So I think that's about all I have to say. Does anybody have any questions? Or yes, sir.
First of all, thank you for your service to our county.
Well, thank you.
Very appreciated, and I admire you guys a lot. The other day, I understand you guys have about 4 cars throughout the county at any given time. That's a number that
Generally, that's the minimums. Sometimes we have more, but that's more often than not. That's where we're at.
I live out Ocean Beach Highway, and I was driving out the other day, and 4 of your SUVs in a row come from the west end of the county or somewhere out there. And so I was wondering what would cause there to be that number of deputies out of the situation.
Greg Firth, he lives in Lexington.
Greg Firth from a 108 Mendota. Do I have that right?
Hey, I got his license number on my phone. I'll text it to you.
Mike made you do that.
Is that right?
Back to the question.
I don't think so. Anyway, actually, I know Greg's neighbor real well. That's why I know his address and where he lives. Anyway, usually when you get that many out there, there's something in progress, maybe some kind of assault, something involving a weapon. So I'm not sure what day that was or what exactly was going on, but. I know yesterday they had interestingly enough, talking about technology, a guy lives up on Hazeldale Road, and he was at work and his phone goes off. He has a camera system at home, so he looks at his phone and turns on his cameras where there's 2 guys breaking into his house. So he calls us and they head up there. They got away, but he had good video of them and also their car. And a few hours later, they did find the car and got one of the suspects and working on beautiful pictures of these guys. So there's no doubt that we'll find the second guy too. So technology is our friend too, but it's kind of interesting. Like an event like that you had everybody available was running up on that. So. Yes.
Can you speak to the timing of transition? I know as communications manager for Public Works, I've worked hard over the last 3 years to build smooth relationships, largely due to Charlie Rosenzweig, who's retiring in May.
Mm-hmm.
He's been great to work with, but going into our winter season and all the emergency stuff, we're a little nervous to kind of rebuild that. So could you address the timing? Because I know you don't actually start until the 1st.
Yeah. Well, the sheriff's already put me in a position where I can work on the transition. The chief criminal deputy, I found out that's actually a job in itself, though, too. So there's, which in addition to going to meetings and that sort of thing, it's kind of tough. But basically, the sheriff can appoint 4 administrative positions in the office, and 2 of those folks are going to stay the same. The Department of Emergency Management Director is Ernie Schnabler. He's well regarded. And also the Lisa Prater, who's in charge of our civil division. That's a specialized area. She's going to stay there. And in terms of the other 2 positions, there's going to be a new undersheriff in January, Darren Ullman. He's done numerous things in the office, search and rescue deputy for many years, and then he's ran the registered sex offender program. And things have worked out. We have somebody on light duty who's replacing him, so he's actually already been trained up and has taken over. And Darren's pretty much full-time in transition with the undersheriff, and that position does budget and human resources. So that part of the transition is already occurring, and I'm already in the process of transitioning into the sheriff's role. Charlie Rosenzweig will be back in the chief criminal deputy position January 1 for 4 months, and we'll rely on him. He's been in that position for about 16 years, 41 years with the agency. So the transition is going to continue with him there for 4 months. Both he's going to help me, and then his replacement, who I haven't publicly named yet, but have someone in mind, an experienced sergeant and detective sergeant who will replace him. So the transition started, and it'll be ongoing through May 1st, and then once Charlie leaves, we'll have a new sergeant position, and like I said, we're going to be hiring 4 new deputies. Hopefully by May 1st we can have 4 new deputies hired. So it's going to be a constant process, and probably generally is with replacing people and that sort of thing. Just there's more of it going on right now, but things are in the works over the next 6 months, and it's going to kind of be a gradual process. And fortunately, I think Charlie Rosenzweig's retirement, being here for 4 more months into the new year is going to be a great help. I'm looking forward to it. So. He does a job of 2 people, quite literally. Most law enforcement agencies have 2 people, one running patrol, one running detectives. He does both jobs, so the county's been getting a bargain with him. So it's a wealth of knowledge. Yes, Hal?
Yeah, this registered sex offender thing obviously scares the crap out of people, right?
It does.
Do we have a significantly higher or lower recidivism in that category in Cowlitz County?
Recidivism, easy for you to
Yeah, I know, it's easy.
Recidivism.
Yeah.
Oh, he did it
Do we have
again.
any significant higher or lower?
I can't speak to that, exactly what the rate is with that, but the city police are involved in that. The way it works, they're all registered through the sheriff's office, and then there's 3 categories: level 1, level 2, and level 3. And depending on what their level is, it dictates how many times a year they're checked. Like the lowest level are checked once a year, then some are checked twice a year, and then some are checked quarterly. And the actual knocking on the door and verifying that they're living where they're at is the police departments do the registered sex offenders in their cities, and then we just do the ones in the unincorporated area. But all the files and the initial registration takes place at the sheriff's office, and that includes taking their fingerprints and their DNA goes on file.
Isn't there like a map on your website that shows where they all are?
Yes.
That's what I thought. So what's the big deal about this citizen who's assuming you get the whole list or whatever?
Well, the ones that are available, the levels 2 and 3, those are publicly available, and those are the more serious ones. Just by practice, we don't release the names of the level 1s. That's the majority of them, and it's public information, and that's kind of what the issue's about. And we have actually 4 separate requests from 3 different people for essentially the same information. And there is an injunction by Judge Warning now on releasing that currently, but it's kind of, I think it's a futile fight. It's been already established. That information can be made available. But these are a lot of people, one-time offenders, or maybe it happened years ago and they've moved on with their lives and are productive citizens. I mean, if they weren't, they wouldn't be a level 1. They'd be level 2, level 3, a bigger threat. So, and there's just concern particularly with the person who's getting that information, how he might use that.
So in general terms, we shouldn't be freaked out about it.
I don't think so. No, they're out there. They're in every community. They're in every community. It wouldn't hurt to go on the map and see if there's any living near you and be aware of that. No.
Well, thank you. Do you have any? Will you be willing to stick around for any other questions for a little bit?
Well, I can.
There you go. Okay.
Well, there's a meeting I'm supposed to go to, but I'll hang around.
He's got a meeting to go to, so he's got to go.
No, I'm fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
President-elect Brad Thurman, I want to thank you very much for your presentation, and here is a mug for your favorite beverage of whatever sort, and inside is an application for joining the Pioneer Lions Club.
Oh, great.
So if you'd like to become part of us, we'd like to have you.
Nice taps.
Yeah, the taps are back there.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, so
Take that mug to Greg first, and he'll fill it up for you.
Alrighty. Good.
So I guess we'll do whatever tickets are up. Oh, drawings, dessert, Darlene. Since I got this. Okay.
And the membership there.
Yeah. Did it fall out? There it is. You can count on this thing fall out. Okay, so what we have on the, well, we changed it to a blue ticket. You know, it was a blue ticket, then became a white ticket. We're back to blue. Back to blue tickets. So, number is 233-7196.
I was hearing a quarter till and the number before me is 40.
Oh, Gina. All right. And the red ticket that has always been red and still is red, it is, oh, here I go, number 65617. 5? 656-175. Anybody? No, it's 175. Hey, I can always pull another one out if no one's got it. Who? Oh, what does John have? No?
What happened, Gina?
So do we just put that into the pool for next week, or do we just pick another one here? Okay. Okay, so that number's gone, whatever happened to it. 656-156. 156. I don't know where these numbers come from, but that's what this is on here. Yes, 156. Harold! Wow, someone's awake. Where do you want to go, Harold? Diabetes, thank you. Okay, any senility?
No, President Leroy, everybody signed in.
Hey, you guys are lucky. Sure, Lion Mike.
Real quick, like, if anybody in here has a CDL or knows somebody that has a CDL that wants to make a few bucks once in a while, we drive the screening unit, not to operate it, just to drive it. Let me know.
Okay, quick reminder. Carrie Ann needs a lot of help on Saturday after Thanksgiving. It's this Sunday, but it's still after Thanksgiving, so for the Jumbo Toy Run. So if you guys can get down there for that, see Carrie Ann. And we got time for the other stuff, but make sure you get signed up for a Walk and Knock, which is on the 1st. And I think that's probably about it. It is 1 o'clock.